Hey students, hey parents. I wanted to just make a video about how to make a video. Imagine that. I thought it would be helpful to not only have some written suggestions and kind of a checklist to follow to make this the easiest as possible, but also I thought it would be helpful to have a video that kind of ran down some things. I know some people like to read, some people like to listen. Figure the combination of them both is the best that we can do, right? So with this video link, you should have also got an attachment with this list that says the YouTube Performance Video How-To Checklist. This is really important. Do not make your video before you read all the details on here, okay? My goal is that you can make your video, send it to me, and you don't need to redo anything, okay? So be sure to listen to this video. Be sure to follow along with this. Print it if that's important to you. You're also welcome to look at it digitally. Just be sure that you're following the things on this checklist. So whatever accomplishes that is fine with me. So first thing, be sure to shoot the video horizontally or landscape style. That's really important for me to be able to edit things or make a playlist. I'm not sure which I'm doing yet, but if I do a full movie kind of thing, or if I make a playlist, it's just easier if everyone is horizontal because the vertical videos will show up kind of funny. So that's the first thing. The second thing, shoot the video with an audience view. So you'll notice that I'm a little bit far back, and that's because I'm going to show you some things here. When you're playing a recital, the audience isn't hovered around you at the piano, right? So this is going to be very different from a lesson view. So in a lesson view, I need to see your hands on the keys. The audience doesn't need to see that. And you might not even want them to see that, right? So you want them back in the audience where they're supposed to be. The other thing that's important about the audience view is when you stand up to bow. I'm obviously filming from a tripod, and you can have someone actually filming from your phone, but notice how my head is a little bit cut off. You want to try as much as possible. I'll have to come back a little bit. You want to try to have as much of your body in the camera as possible. So I don't care if I see your feet. You could even get cut off at the knees. That would be okay. But you don't want to see this, right? And then that will be kind of a funny bow. If when you come back up, we can't even see you smile. So be sure you're farther back, so when you take your bow, because yes, you're going to bow, you want that to be able to be seen. So that's important. Then I'm going to pull my bench back up here. Also, check your lighting. Lighting is a tricky thing, so I'm not going for perfection here by any means. But just be sure you're not like this big shining orb where we can't like see any facial features or anything, or where there's a big like orb on the piano. So it might involve, lighting more from behind rather than in front, closing some blinds. So just experiment a little bit, take the time to do that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not going for Hollywood lighting here. We just don't want you also to just be this glowing orb. Does that make sense? We've all been there. I've been there in lessons where all of a sudden I look in the camera and I just look like this big shiny blob and you can't really see me. And I've had that happen to students in their lessons too, where the sun is coming through just right, and it kind of looks like an alien's about to land on their piano or something, or a UFO. So anyway, so check that. And time of day might also be helpful with that. There might be sometimes times of day that are better to video than others if you can do that. Okay. Third thing, shoot one video for each piece. So again, that makes it easier for me to edit. The other thing is if you record your first piece and it goes great and you love it, and then you do your second piece and for some reason it doesn't go well and you want to redo it, you don't have to redo both of them and you don't have to go through and edit your video. So just make each piece a separate video. It also keeps the video lengths shorter, so they're going to be easier to text to me. You'll notice all the way down at number 11 on this list, if your videos are 3 minutes or less, please text them to me. That's the easiest way to do things, and I can just pull them off onto my computer. If they're longer than 3 minutes, let me know, because then we need to discuss some other things that are less familiar for me to use. You might know more about them, but then we probably have to use Google Drive or Dropbox or something, and we'll discuss that on an individual basis as we need to. Let's see. Number 4, be sure to include about 5 seconds of lead time before you begin to play. So what I mean by that is your music is up. Hold on. Your music is up, you're ready to play. Rather than just sitting down and just playing, get ready and just kind of think to yourself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or even you can have your hands in your laps and just think, just count slowly to 5. So you can think 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. And what that does, again, it will make some of the editing for me a little bit easier. So, then make your, number 5, make your piano area as neat as possible. So you probably can't totally see, but see all this stuff up here? This is all great stuff. This is all stuff I use. It's all teacher stuff. When I make my video, because I think I'm going to play for you all, because I usually do that, I'm going to clean all that off. Even though you see it all the time, we want to make the video look as neat as possible. So I'll leave my light, but I'll take like all my little accoutrements and giraffes and coasters and flashcards, and I'll remove all of that. So again, we're not going for perfection here, but anything you don't want on there, if you have family photos and things on there, that's fine, as long as you don't mind other people seeing whatever's up there, okay? As far as my backdrop, that's just going to be what it is, because my piano's in my studio. So some of you may have a lot nicer backdrops in your living room, but there you go. So again, do the best you can. We are not going for perfection here. Number 6, wear appropriate dress-up clothes for the video. So even though we're videoing ahead of time, this is still a special occasion, so dress accordingly. Wear recital clothes. So for example, what I have on right now is not appropriate because I'm wearing blue jeans. So if I had on black dress pants or a black skirt, that would be appropriate. So, you know, the usual recital dress that we do. So dress pants, skirts, dresses for girls, for boys, nice pants, nice shirt. You can wear a suit. You can wear a nice shirt and a tie, a nice polo shirt. And shoes, if you have dress shoes, that's great. Flip-flops aren't ideal. So just some sort of kind of dress shoe. If all you have are tennis shoes or those kinds of things, that's fine. Or flip-flops. So use what you have. None of us are all out shopping. So do your best, again. Number 7, plan your page turns. So for those of you not playing from memory, or for those of you who have songs that are more than 2 pages long, you're either going to hire a family page turner, so a sibling, a parent, and you want to practice with them. You want to practice. It's best if they turn from your left side, and they just sort of come across the page so they're not covering your music. Or they can turn from the bottom too. So that's one option. Probably the easier option, if it's not, you know, a 12-page piece, would be to just copy those page turns and lay out all your pages. But again, be sure that you practice that way before you video, because even if you're used to turning pages and suddenly they're all out, it will feel different. So practice with those copied pages, or practice with your page turner before you video. Number 8, exhibit your best stage etiquette. That will feel strange because you're playing in the comfort of your own home, but still sort of imagine or pretend you're at that recital space. You want to use your best posture. You want to, when you're done playing your piece, sorry about that, when you're done playing your song, you know, stop, don't look at the camera. Don't look at the camera while you play, because there wouldn't be a camera at a recital performance, right? That's important. But you finish your final chord, you can just let your hands freeze, put them in your lap, take a breath, and then move on to your next piece. Or you finish your chord, put your hands in your lap, step out and away from the bench. Again, my head's cut off a little bit because of where my tripod is standing, because there's a wall. I can't go any farther back. And then you would bow. Okay? So what you don't want to do, you don't want to, you know, I'm playing, and then just slide away. Okay? You don't want your body to leave the instrument, to leave the music, to leave the event before the music is over. So let the music finish, then let your body leave the music, okay? So I've talked to all of you about that for other recitals. So it's just a matter of remembering that in your living room, which I think is a little bit tricky because you're in the comfort of your own home. And let's see, if you can muster up a smile when you bow, that's really wonderful too. Maybe it's easier to smile in your own home. Number 9. Oh, so bowing again. A lot about this bowing. And you know I talk about that a lot because it's so easy to forget to bow. And we all feel strange bowing, but remember, bowing is our thank you to the audience. And so even though when you're making the video, it's an imaginary audience, you're going to have an audience when we all watch together on Zoom. So you want to say thank you. Do not bow after every selection that you're going to do. Only bow after your very last piece. So if you're doing 2 or 3 pieces, you would video your first one. And that's actually where it will become important then, that you freeze over the keys, put your hands in your lap, and actually leave probably a little lead time at the end of the video too. I did not mention that. So leave some lead time also at the end of your video if it's not your bowing piece, okay? That's really important as well. And then whatever piece is going to be your last, I will send you all a recital program that you can print. Whichever piece is the last piece, then you want to go ahead and bow after that one, okay? Let's see, number 10. You can do more than one video take. So this is the advantage of taking a video, is if the first time you just feel like it's a total disaster and you're really unhappy with it, you can do another one. But don't do so many takes that it becomes stressful. So remember, these are going to have a live music feel. Your goal is to do your best. Your goal is to communicate a feeling or an emotion and to share your music with other people, okay? So small imperfections are a part of that process. Live music has imperfections whether you hear them or not from other people. They're a part of that process, okay? My video, I know, will have imperfections. So we're not going for absolute perfection here. We're going for sharing sort of a general feel and kind of an overview of the piece. So keep that in mind as you keep doing your video takes. My recommendation is if you want to do multiple takes, maybe do 3 and take the best. So save your first one, second one, third one, and then decide what you like the best. Then, if you're trying to video and it's really just not going well, come back to it later in the day or come back to it the next day if time allows. So I'll have a deadline. Haven't decided what that is yet, but I'll have a video submission deadline. So if you can start videoing even a day or 2 ahead of that, if you feel ready, that can give you some lead time to kind of to try it a couple days if you want to. But again, we're not going for perfection. We're just going for playing your best. So, and then last of all, oh, I think I covered the last one. So if your videos are 3 minutes or less, text them to me. If they're longer, and I know some students have longer videos, we need to chat and figure out whether we can do that via Dropbox or via Google Drive to get those videos. I think Google Drive will probably be easiest, but so I hope that's helpful. So take a look at this list, print it off, kind of familiarize yourself with everything before you make your video, and please let me know if any questions come up. Drop me an email or a text. And for those of you who haven't had a lesson yet, we can talk more. So I'm thinking the video submission deadline, the logical choice is Sunday, because that's the recital day, so that makes sense, and it's before well, our weeks are different now, but I know you still all have e-learning and things going on in the week, so if you could get it done by the end of Sunday, that would be ideal. And if for some reason that doesn't get done, you know, we can extend over into early in the week. But I think that you're all ready to record your music. You are all prepared to play live on Sunday. So that way, if you get your video in by Sunday, the good news is that then we don't need to work on recital pieces in your lesson next week. We can start new music and do some new things, which I think you're all looking forward to. So I hope that was helpful. Have fun making your videos. Try to find the joy in that process. And yeah, so let me know if you have questions. Happy videoing. Bye-bye.